The Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola, the 8 Principles.
The 8 principals apparently don't want to visit it this morning. So, we will not see our video this morning, but it is a brilliant video, and we can see it online anytime we would like to. So this morning we will start then with our announcements. So I am the Reverend Maggie Lovins. My pronouns are she and her. I am blessed to be your community minister here for the Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola. I ask that you now check any of your electronic devices and put them into sacred silence mode. I would like to welcome any visitors that we may have with us today. We have lots of really good information out on our credenza out here about the faith of Unitarian Universalism, about our local church here, some of the works that we do in our community, and how to be in touch with us and how we can be in touch with you. We are a lay-led congregation, meaning that you are just never quite sure what you might get on a Sunday morning in here. So if today's not your bag, come back next Sunday. You just never know. Our website is uupensacola.org. You can find all of our Sunday services on there, information about our governance, our 8 Principles video. So check it out. It's a great website, actually. Couple of announcements for the congregation. Beginning this service today, the first Sunday of each month, our children are invited and encouraged to be with us here with us for the full service. We will only have childcare for the infants and toddlers on the first Sunday of each week, but every other Sunday of the month, we will definitely have our CRE programs as usual. A couple of other announcements. Let's see here. Mary Beth Ramsey is not here today, but she would like us to remind ourselves that we have a UUCP Beach Day Bash coming up. Soaking up the sun together, Saturday, July 19th at noon. Sounds hot at noon.
It is hot.
So look for our setup. We will be down by the lifeguard tower in the bathrooms that is at the last beach access point before you get to Fort Pickens. Before Fort Pickens, okay? And if you have any questions, Mary Beth Ramsey is the person to see about that, and she says, we'll see you there. Let's see. Tuesday, the 8th of July, our lunch bunch will be gathering at Fanaris Brothers right down the street here at 1 o'clock. And if you'd like any more info on that, see Hugh Ed. Hi, Hugh Ed.
Hey.
And attention, church family. The Price is Right is on. Join us on Sunday, August 3rd and the 10th in the conference room after the service for another exciting sale. No set prices. Select what you like and take the treasures home with you. Payment methods can include time, talent, or treasure. It's a wonderful opportunity to give back to the church while finding something special. All proceeds will go to support our church and its initiatives. If you wish to donate items for the sale, contact, once again, Mary Beth Ramsey or Christy Jean. Space is limited, so reach out soon to ensure your contributions can be accepted. Thank you for your support, and they all look forward to seeing us there. And this is kind of exciting. FemFest Song Circle. After the joy and connection that we found singing together in March, we're gathering again, just because it's good for the soul. Join us for the first FemFest Song Circle, a space for feminist voices to rise together in song, to embrace rest and cultivate resilience. Saturday, July 26th, 11:30 a.m., right here at the UU Church, Pensacola. All feminist voices are welcome. All experience levels are welcome. Just bring yourself. Let's see here. The first they'll be singing is Treading the Spark by Heather Houston. And if you'd like any other information on that, Claire Helton is coordinating that for us, and there will be more information coming out in your next Thursday email. So be on the lookout for that. All right, I think that might have us. All right, you want to come and light our chalice for us? We've got Marcy going to light our chalice for us this morning. May this flame we light remind us that every one of us can bring light and love to this world. May this clear flame be a symbol that every heart can burn bright with joy, peace, and harmony. May the wisdom of ages speak to us through this flame and stay in us. Every one of us can be and is a blessing to this world. Thank you, Marcy. And our opening words. From our separate joys and struggles, we come here. We come here to find the peace of balance, to find the blessing of restlessness, and all are welcome. To follow, to lead, to teach, and to learn, all are welcome. To join in the dance or to catch our breath, all are welcome. To give generously and to receive gratefully, all are welcome. If we are steady and composed, if we feel completely lost, if we don't know what we're feeling, this community has a place for us. Here we matter, and here we are loved. If you are steady and poised, if you feel completely lost, if you don't know what you feel, this community has place for us where you matter and where you are loved. Blessed be. And our opening song this morning is song number 38 in your gray hymnal, which is Morning Has Broken. I'd like to invite the choir up, and if you are willing and able, please rise. together say the covenant of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Say hi to your neighbors real quick before you sit down. Thank you. Thank you. We'll have more chatty time with coffee later.
Here he is, Norton.
Now is the time in our service where we can share together our joys and sorrows of our community. Please come forward, speak your name, and briefly share with us your joy or your sorrow. I'll light a candle for you. But first candle that I light for us today, there is so much going on outside of these walls. There is so much heartbreak. There is a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of pain. But inside these walls for this next hour, let's find some joy in being in a place that loves us and that we love back. Do we have any youth? Do we have anybody that might like to hear a story? Yeah, okay. Well, I was going to call people up to the front, but, you can stay in your seats. So, today's story is about Stitch from the movie Lilo and Stitch. Anybody who doesn't know Stitch?
Yeah, I know Stitch.
You know Stitch? Good. So, Stitch actually is an alien. Stitch was experiment number 626 of a crazy evil genius who was trying to make the meanest, most indestructible little hellion, excuse my French, that he ever could. However, when Stitch came to Earth, he found Lilo, or Lilo found him, and he understood what family meant as he became a part of their family. So, we're going to hear a little bit about what Stitch has to say. So we see Stitch's experiment 626. That was his 6 arms with 6 guns and a tongue you just couldn't get. He licked everything. It was the craziest thing. And you could see when he got to Earth, he wasn't quite sure about things. He was kind of on the predatory side of things. And then he just remembered he's not so ordinary. And you know what? I'm not so very ordinary either, so I'm going to tell a little bit of his story. This is called Be More Stitch. Be more positive, happy, and confident every day. Find where you fit. Not many people think Stitch fits in, and he doesn't. But finding where you fit is not always about fitting in. It's about discovering those people that get you. Those friends who will sing back to you when you're both kicking back with a coconut. They live in Hawaii. Ohana. There are some people in your life who will always be there for you. Now, they may look different from you, and they may not even speak the same language. But even though they don't understand what you're saying, they understand you. They're the ones that you want to enjoy a shaved ice with. Hold on to them. They're your ohana. And ohana means family. And family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Stitch says, you do you. It's easy to follow the crowd and to blend in. But if you're too scared to show the real record-playing weirdo that you are, then you'll feel kind of blue. But be proud. After all, there's only one experiment 626, and there's only one you. Stitch also says, discover your true self and own it. We are all lots of things at once. Nani is a strict but caring big sister. And Jumbo, well, he is an evil genius, but he was also easily persuaded. However, there's always something deep inside that is truly, uniquely you. And that never changes. And for Stitch, well, that's being fluffy. Find your fluffy, and don't let anyone change it. And you don't need to blend in. You want to know a secret? Come closer. Everyone is a weirdo. And there's no point in hiding it or trying to blend in even, especially if you think it's going to protect you. You probably only make yourself blue again. But the weird and wonderful person that you are, 6 arms and all, will truly, truly be enjoyed by your friends when you are yourself, including your six-armed hugs. Stitch reminds us to feel all the feels. Feelings can be big sometimes, and they can seem like they'll last forever and that nobody understands what you're going through. Everyone has their good days, and everyone has their bad days. So, go where the waves of your life take you. And find your happy. You can't be happy all the time, but when you know what cheers you up or chills you out, then you can help get a bit of your happy back. Maybe, like Stitch, listening to your top tunes is a guaranteed way to put a smile on your face. Well, whatever your happy is, and no matter what anyone else thinks about it, embrace it. Friendship. Stitch reminds us that having true friends is one of life's real joys, whether you have one or 21 of them. While you can't be friends with everyone, riding life's highways with a real buddy is just the best. And being a good friend, well, that's pretty darn cool too. And lastly, Stitch reminds us to find a cheerleader. As you travel along your path, you'll meet those who might put you down or tell you something that you don't like. Well, if it hurts, then don't listen to these folks. Just like Stitch has Lilo, find the people who build you up. Those who tell you, you can do it. They're your own little cheer team. Find your Ohana. Here's some more Stitch. Stitch likes Elvis, and he does a couple of really good karaoke versions. I like having Stitch vibes because sometimes he is just the most cuddly, cute little creature, and sometimes he is a little pit bull.
A little pit bull.
There you go. Stitch always says, be yourself. And this is his buddy Lilo. And Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind and nobody gets forgotten. It is now time for our offertory. We are a completely member-funded congregation, so we rely on our charitable donations to operate. We appreciate any time, talent, or treasure that you can give to the congregation. Our ushers will now pass around baskets to collect any offerings, and you may also give via any of these ways here on the screen. We've got a nice little piece of music that'll play for us. Thank you. Boy, I like that xylophone in there.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
great.
glockenspiel.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to invite us into something a little bit different this morning. I have chosen an exercise for us to do rather than just another reading from me. Y'all hear me talk all the time. So, well, thank you. So we're going to do a meditative breathing exercise together. Now, this is one that may be familiar with some of you maybe not. It's called a 4-7-8 breath procedure. So what you'll do is you'll inhale for 4 seconds, you'll hold it for 7, and then you exhale for 8. If that is not possible, make it wherever it fits for you, okay? And we're going to repeat that 4 times. And then I'd like you on your own to do 3 nice deep breaths in and out. If you can make this all through your nose and out your nose, that would be wonderful. Somatic breathing and the blood vessels that are actually in our nostrils can help us to hyperoxygenate, which is really good for anxiety, breaking thought patterns. Had a big conversation with my pharmacist about that the other day. And in case you need any kind of a visual, you can most definitely close your eyes, soft gaze, whatever makes good for you. My little friend here, the green is an inhale, the purple is a hold, and then the blue coming up is your exhale. So if you need something to watch to do that, fine, or you can count, whatever works for you. So we're going to start with an inhale, 4, and the hold, and the exhale. I invite you to do that 3 times for yourself, and then again 3 nice deep breaths in and out when you are done with that. Beautiful. And collectively, 1 nice deep breath together. And out. Now, the other reason that I ask if you can do an inhale and an exhale through the nose, it's a very interesting passage in the Gita about breath coming in through the mouth as being a fouled breath, but the breath coming in through the nostrils is a sacred breath. So yogis for a very, very long time have done cyclical nose breathing based upon those findings, or those writings rather. So that's where that comes from, just so you guys have a little bit of information on that. I'm going to invite the choir back up. They are going to do our centering music for us, which is 1020 Woyaya. You do have the books, but you need not sing if you do not like. You may most definitely just listen to this centering music. for the main show. We are blessed today to have Gay Valimont with us, and I just enjoyed our short little Zoom call that we had the other day, but we just connected, and I feel great about this. Thank you for being here. Gay is a mother and a gun violence prevention activist here in Pensacola, Florida, who has devoted her life to improving public safety. Gay earned a bachelor's degree in health and exercise science from Georgia Southern University. Her National Athletic Trainer Association accreditation and her MA in education from Troy State University before pursuing her career in sports medicine in Atlanta. There she worked for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta and later Emory Sports Medicine as an athletic trainer. During her time in Atlanta, she met her husband, Brian Valimont, and started a family, giving birth to their son Eli in 2012. The Valimonts moved to Gulf Breeze in 2014. And Gay's story from there is one of becoming the caregiver for both of her family members as they struggled through life-ending health issues. After much reflection of what direction her life would now go in, she found herself with her feet in the sand and trying to find footing on how to make a difference in this world. And she chose to challenge our representative at the time for Florida's 1st Congressional District, Matt Gaetz, in 2024. When he resigned in November of 24, they held a special election in 25, here just a little while ago, and barely being outvoted, she managed to flip Escambia County, being the first Democrat to win our county since 1992. And once again, put your hands together and welcome Gay.
Just so I can keep myself on task. How are y'all doing?
We're doing excellent. Excellent.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I really, really appreciate it. Nancy, thank you for asking me to come. The UU has a very special place in my heart. It was the first church to ever ask me to come and speak about gun violence prevention.
Yeah.
And for years, I wondered why we hadn't done that before.
You have a campaign.
So thank you. It's also always been a place that you can go to in any town and find the kind of people that you want to be around. The people that care about social justice, the people that don't just walk the walk or talk the talk, they walk the walk. So thank you for everything that you do. Again, my name is Gay Valimont, and I'm sure if you haven't heard this voice on your TV or radio, you may know me from gun violence prevention. You may not care about politics, and that's okay too. But I want to tell you about what led me in my life to end up running for Congress, and where I am now and where I plan to go next. As Reverend Maggie mentioned, I work in sports medicine. So for those of you that follow sports or even watch sports of any sort or whatever, if somebody gets hurt, the person that runs out on the football field and does the either taping up or whatever, or get up you're not hurt sort of thing. That's what I do for a living. I am at all the practices, all of the matches, all the games. So I covered football from high school football to college football to professional football in Atlanta. And I predominantly covered black high schools. A lot of the time I was the only white person in the stadium or in the gym or wherever I was. Those were my babies. But I knew after years that those kids that lived in South Atlanta had to live differently than the white kids in North Atlanta. For many, many reasons, but mostly because of the threat of gun violence. And because I love those kids so much, I got involved in making black communities safer throughout Atlanta by fighting against gun violence. Now in 2014, my husband Brian and I decided that we would move here and get out of the big city because we had a toddler. That's our baby Eli. And we ultimately decided on Gulf Breeze. I had ties to this coast forever, and my grandparents managed a hotel out on Pensacola Beach in the late 60s, early 70s. If you're from here, then you know Holiday Homes. And my parents were public school educators, so if we wanted to go on a vacation, it had to be free and it had to be here. So, so I spent most of my summers here in this beautiful place. So when Brian and I decided to get out of the big city, just so Eli could ride his bike, we came here and we set up shop. Eli started school, Brian started work. I got into the community, became the PTA president, and if you know anything about me, that's not really my jam, but I had the opportunity when we moved here to not work 24 hours a day and spend some time on my son and on our family. Our years in Gulf Breeze were our most beautiful. Every corner I round reminds me of my son. I never, ever want to make people sad when I tell people my story. It almost makes me feel guilty. But I tell you because I want you to understand that there are horrible things in the world and in life, but perseverance and caring for others is what gets us to the next point. I was working in gun violence prevention before in Atlanta volunteering, and when I moved to Florida, I found this little group called Moms Demand Action on Facebook. And at the time, it was 500 women from across the country after Sandy Hook, right after Sandy Hook, who had complained on the internet day in, day out about gun violence and guns and all that other stuff. Thank you. I do walk, sorry, I'm a walker. And this small group only had 500 women in it when I joined. And I'd been in Florida for about a year, and then the Pulse massacre happened. And the unfortunate thing about gun violence prevention is that when mass shootings happen, your membership goes up. That's when people start to care, right? And then Marjorie Stoneman Douglas happened. And you run back and forth to the Capitol in Tallahassee, and you testify against bad gun bills, and you tell the bad stories, and you have the survivors come and tell your legislators why we need sensible gun legislation. We built our organization from 12 local groups throughout Florida to 32. We increased membership 400%, and we moved mountains in Tallahassee. And while it doesn't seem like we have, Our teachers aren't armed, and we don't have open carry in Florida. Those are a couple of our wins. I like to think that we've done a lot more. We've changed minds. We worked really hard. And then as life does, it kicks you in the teeth sometime, and I imagine there are a lot of people in this room who know exactly what that's like. At the height of COVID in 2020, my perfectly normal, genius husband, Brian, began having symptoms of weakness in his hands and feet. And he was an athlete. He was also an aerospace engineer. And he liked to drink beer, and he was hilarious, and he'd tell dad jokes. And he was the sweetest man that ever walked the face of the earth. He was diagnosed with ALS at 44. Sorry for the pause. And I feel safe here if I cry. I'm not ashamed to cry. I cry a lot. Quickly after he was diagnosed with ALS, which for those of you that don't know, and I'm sure you probably do, ALS is a disease that destroys your neurons so that your muscles can't get the electricity they need to work. And it starts from the outside and works its way in until eventually it gets to your diaphragm and you can no longer push air in and out. Within 6 months, Brian was in a wheelchair. He was on a feeding tube, and he had to rely on his computer to speak for him because he could no longer speak or swallow. And trying to manage that and having a 7-year-old, Brian and I did the best we could to try to figure out how I was going to raise Eli alone, because we knew that ALS was 100% fatal. We just didn't know how long he had. And then we were working into our new normal, and my son Eli fell down at school. And they called me from school and said, Eli fell down and he can't regain his balance. And I had literally just put him on the bus an hour before that. We rushed him to the emergency room. He was acting normal, just a little dizzy. And we sat there for 10 hours until one of my mom's demand action friends came in, who just happened to be the head of the pediatric ER. And she said, Gay, we have to send you to Miami to see a specialist. And I said, well, okay, I have to work out care for Brian because he's in a wheelchair and he can't go, so we'll go tomorrow. And she said, no, you and Eli are going right now, and you're going to be life flighted. When I got there, they sat me in a conference room, 6 doctors on the other side, and told me that my beautiful son, Eli, who was vibrant and danced and sang, and he was hilarious too. He was smart like his dad, but street smart like his mom. That he had a DIPG brain tumor, and that it too was terminal, and that he probably wouldn't make it past 6 months. Let me pause. This story is never easy to tell. During the campaign, I got routine about it. and that I could tell you that my family died and not cry. But I can't do that anymore. 6 months after diagnosis, my son took his last breath. 6 months after that, my husband did as well. My son has been gone almost 4 years in September, and my husband 3.5. After they passed, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin anywhere I went. I didn't feel comfortable at home. I didn't feel comfortable in bed. The only time I felt okay was when I was asleep. And then I'd wake up and remember that they were gone. It took me some time to figure out how to manage that, because only I could. And I won't lie, there were days I did not want to live anymore. I couldn't see myself living a life without my family. In fact, my therapist, which she's still my therapist, said, "I can't believe you're still alive," which is not what your therapist is supposed to say. Thank you. Thanks. I'm good. Thank you. So I found my way to the water, because when there was nothing, food didn't taste good. I couldn't drink enough to make it go away. And I finally just found the water. I just found peace staring at the Gulf. So I bought a little tiny townhouse out on the beach. And I sat there and stared at the water by myself for what seems like an eternity, and it wasn't. And I got an alert on my phone that said Matt Gaetz had filed a federal stand your ground bill. And for just a moment, I felt like I had purpose again, because I knew there was nobody better to fight Matt Gaetz, especially on Stand Your Ground, because when he passed Stand Your Ground in Florida, our gun homicide rate went up 32%. Our black men and boys are 18 times more likely to be shot and killed because of that. And I was not going to let him do that to our country, what he did to Florida. So I can only describe it in a way that I stood up and I kind of felt fire in my feet, and like I could breathe. And I said, I have to do something. I'm going to run against him. And I did. That one didn't end up so good. But I was never going to beat Gaetz here. Nobody ever would have. I did everything I could have. But mostly it was because he was just not a good guy. He's not a good guy. He didn't pass good legislation. He doesn't think about the people here. So that's what drove me. Because of them, I will never give up on this place. I will never give up on every park that Eli played in, every road that Brian ran on. I won't give up on this place. The second election showed us a lot, right? That it took a long time to get the word out that we don't have to hate each other. The same principles that this church is founded on. Like, just care enough to get out there and do something. Just care enough. And what I want to share with y'all today is that I'm not going to run again. Not this time around. And that's because I recognize that I have to take care of myself. We moved mountains here. We did. We turned Escambia County blue. And we can build on that momentum because more of us feel like we do than not. And enough people cared to show up for some weird election in the middle of the summer for whatever to vote for me because they cared. And we can see what's happening now. We can see what's going on. I am devastated that 130,000 of our neighbors are about to lose their Medicaid. And that's children and the disabled. I am devastated. That makes me cry too. And I was this close to being there to stop it. This close. So I don't have a congressional seat from which to work, but I never have. And I've done a whole bunch of stuff. I've got a whole bunch of good stuff done, and you all can do it too. So what I'm doing with the money that's left over, because we raised so much money that we couldn't even spend it all in Escambia County, I am investing the rest of it in other people that want to run for office. I'm investing it in every seat across this panhandle. If you say you want to run for office, let me put you under my wing. Let me show you the way. Let me show you how to get it done, because it is personal. It is personal to go and talk to people and get people to trust you enough to make those decisions. I want to make sure that we keep our values here and we don't go back inside, y'all. We can't go inside and shut the door because it's up to us. And I'm going to be here every step of the way. And I promise you, I'm not giving up. But we're going to continue to do some good work on this panhandle that we started. And I promise to be here with you through all of it. Thank you so much for having me today. Never, ever give up. If I can keep going, you can too. Thank you. There. See, I didn't need this at all.
Sometimes we just never know each other's stories. So I was feeling kind of Cat Stevens-y today. So if you will call the choir up as we're going to sing along with Cat Stevens and Peace Train. The words will be up here for you. The words are missing all the ooh-ah-ee-rahs to it. But everybody usually knows where those go in here, right? So we'll sing together.
Stand up.
Yes, please. Stand if you are able and willing.
What I've been smiling lately,
Our benediction comes to us today from Martin Luther King Jr. This is where we are. And where do we go from here? First, we must massively assert our dignity and worth. We must stand up amidst a system that still oppresses and develop an unsatiable, majestic sense of our values. What is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. And justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. And this is what we all must see as we move on together. Go in peace, walk in love, and spread joy. Have a great week. Our choir is going to sing us out with Go Lift It Up. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Thank you for being here.